WUUU-FM proudly presents live from the Go Techie Studios and streaming, as you can see here, Facebook Live. Yes, it is facebook.com/catcountry989. And the question of the day is up right now at our Facebook page. If you had to live in any other state besides Louisiana, which state would it be? We're getting some interesting questions answered this morning. It's an interesting question with interesting answers. Matthew Manning has gone on the record, and he said, state of confusion. Okay, thank you, Matthew.
That's where I am now.
Yeah. Well, that could be Louisiana. We're not sure. We're welcoming back to the show Mr. Frank Richeron. Looking good this morning.
I'm here. Hey, guys.
Hey, Frank. How are you, buddy?
Happy to be here.
And we also have Bethany Lang with us. Frank, you want to go ahead and give her a proper introduction?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Hi, Bethany. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, very good. Thank you for being here. As you are very much aware, I've been working with LAAPA for quite some time now with Patrick Cullen. He's my little friend, phenom keyboard player. Guy's great. And through that relationship, I met Ryan Cullen, who is the leader of your group. And him and I have put our heads together because we're always thinking music. I know he's thinking music, entertainment, and I do as well at Giddy Up Coffee Shop. And we came up with a great idea, and that is to have what I call a battle of the bands, what he calls a spring jam. Well, we're going to merge these two together, and we're going to have some music this Saturday. And we're going to ask you, if you would, to expound on how this thing will look a little bit. And then further to that, I'd like you to talk a little bit about LAAPA, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Bethany. What Frank said.
Yeah.
Just that.
Certainly. So the Spring Jam, Battle of the Bands, is going to be this Saturday, the 26th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we have a number of ensemble acts that are going to be coming out to perform, a few acts each. They're really excited. It's a dynamic group of kids, and they range in ages. So some of them are a little bit, on the younger side. Maybe they start at 12. Some of our groups are, more teen to adult bands that go up to early 20s. So you're going to get a little bit of everything, from early intermediate to really advanced students that are on stage. These are some of our longer term students that, are really, really, I'd say, promising in their programs and take it seriously. So they're really excited, and they've been working so hard to come out and put on a good show for everyone. So, yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. I heard you're a vocalist yourself.
I am.
Is there any chance you performing Saturday?
This Saturday, I will not be available. No. But I do perform from time to time. We do a lot of adult recitals and kind of fun stuff like that at the schools, respectively. So, yeah, I get on stage too.
Okay, well, you're actually on stage right now with about 30,000 listeners, so maybe we'll get you to do some singing this morning on the air. You think we could put you on?
If I have to.
No, not you, Frank. Jesus. Okay, so LAPA, right? LAAPA?
LAAPA.
Yes. LAAPA. All right. So now what does that stand for?
It's the Louisiana, so that's the first LA, and then
Got it.
Academy, second A, and then performing, the P, and then arts. So LAAPA, Louisiana Academy of Performing Arts.
Okay, so I see you did the LA together for
Exactly,
Louisiana.
yeah.
Threw me off there for
That's Italian. Come sit in my lap.
No. Okay, so I thought I needed help, but Frank does. Is it too late to help Frank at the Performing Arts Academy?
I don't think it's too late to help anyone.
Frank, vocal lessons. Frank, what do you think?
No, it's an idea. I'm nearing retirement, though, I think.
We have a lot of students, surprisingly, especially at the Covington campus. Fridays is our adult day for whatever reason. They all come out, I guess because we start a little earlier. We open in the mornings, and we close a little bit earlier since a lot of our teachers, are giggers, and they perform in the community on Friday nights. So we have a heavy adult demographic. You'd be surprised of retirees that come out.
So exactly what instruction do you guys provide? What I know it's music, singing is one, but what else do you do?
So we do music, dance, and acting across the three schools. So we do a little bit of everything.
I'm accomplished in all of those.
Yeah. Frank
Dancing especially.
Dancing.
Frank acts like he can sing and dance. He's a wonderful act that he puts on.
That's where the acting comes in.
Never had one lesson. Just so we're clear.
It's a natural act for you.
I'm a natural. But I do have a daughter who is a professional performer, and she sings and dances and does all that.
Yeah.
She works with the Jefferson Performing Arts Group.
Oh, yeah, they're great. We have a pretty good relationship with them as
She's
well.
a leading lady with them. So you guys could probably graduate into some of those big performances.
Yeah, they're
with Jefferson
awesome. We
Performing
rent some
Arts.
of their venues for recitals and stuff like
Nice.
that across the lake for our South Shore campus. So
Okay, so you have a South Shore campus. Is that where LAAPA originally started?
yes, we have 3 schools, one in River Ridge, one in Covington, and one in Mandeville, respectively.
Oh, okay.
The River Ridge School was the first to open in the 70s, and
Oh.
it was piano only way back in the day, so it started off as a pretty small act, and certainly grew, in the early 2000s. We expanded to the North Shore, as well as started offering, a dynamic approach to programs, so we can teach just about anything. I think we were just speaking on commercial break that we maybe don't offer harp lessons right now. But
lessons.
outside of that, piano,
Mouth harp?
voice, violin.
Frank plays the harp, I think.
Oh!
Listen,
Mouth
Frank,
harp, mouth
We're in the
harp.
market for a teacher.
he runs his mouth. We know that, but no, not the mouth harp. Frank, go ahead and play us a little something. There it is. So good.
You notice the way I picked the strings?
So good. You're like Harpo Marx. Oh, Frank, that's beautiful.
It's just nice that you had a harp sitting right next to
I know,
me.
right?
It's perfect timing.
So now, I want to say that your Covington campus is located at by the Abita Roasting in Covington.
It
that
is,
right?
yes. Right now, we're located in Village Walk, just a few suites over from Abita Roasting Company.
Oh, okay. So I actually did. I sent my my eldest kid there for singing lessons back in the day.
Lessons.
And I want to say piano. Now I guess you still do like keyboard and piano
We
lessons.
do, yes. We do pretty much all music. So there are big ones, just to kind of codify it a little bit, so I'm not naming really obscure instruments.
Okay.
Piano, voice, violin, guitar, drums. Those are kind of the cornerstones that we see the most of.
No bassoon.
We do have bassoon. We have
Oh my
students that
gosh.
come to us for, really unique needs like cornet. We've had, accordion and harmonica and
Accordion.
stuff that you wouldn't typically
Wow.
see, but it's mostly, those more common
Yeah.
instruments.
My pawpaw played accordion, big Cajun music fan, and he never had one single lesson. It was just the more that he drank, the better he got on the accordion. It was amazing. But now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I knew an instructor there, okay, and I want to say that she taught drum lessons back in the day.
Yeah.
Do y'all still do drum lessons?
We do drum lessons, and we have a ton of drum students. Drums
Is that
are,
right?
it's a really, really good first kind of introductory instrument for students that are on the younger side that might be a little rambunctious because,
Wow.
it gets the body going as well. So
Sure.
sometimes sitting, at a piano might be a little bit more difficult for a child who is 5, who's also, in soccer, in swimming, and kind of wants to bounce around the room.
Right.
But drums really gets you physically engaged too. So we see a ton of little boys that are involved in drum lessons, and we have really niche setups now too that make it a little bit easier for parents. They have silent drum kits where the child will have headphones.
Yeah.
So it's come a long way, and it's certainly a popular program, I think, because of that as well.
Yeah, so you hear that, parents out there? If your kid wants to play drums, you don't have to be terrified. Like, oh my God, no. So like digital drums, things like that with headphones. That's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
But I guess most of these students would have to have an instrument or a drum kit at home too, right?
Typically, we do recommend, we have kits at each campus. So we have our larger instruments, like, drum kits, like pianos, all in-house as well. So if a student is getting started and they want to use our instruments and come in outside of their normal private lesson schedule to practice, we also do, recommend and allow that, just because we understand that sometimes too, these things are a monetary commitment. Of course, getting an electric keyboard, for example, is going to be much more cost effective than getting an upright piano.
Right.
But still, if you have a 5-year-old that you're getting started that might be a little fickle, it's not uncommon for them, to want to try out in the first few months piano, voice, drums, a number of different programs. And our teachers are all typically multi-instrumentalists. They can accommodate this. But with that in mind, that's why we say, yes, we want an instrument at home, but sometimes it's not a bad idea to, kind of feel out the waters for a few weeks first and gauge your child's interest level.
Well, because you probably have homework, right? They got to take some homework home.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Now, as far as like playing music, what about reading music? That's got to be a big thing, right?
Yes, it is certainly a big piece of the puzzle. And we really like to focus on this for our private lesson program. We offer free music theory and composition classes. So we have 45-minute kind of supplementary sessions. They're not mandatory. So if you do have a student that wants to come out and, really just learn like one song, that's fine too. We cater to everyone. But for the students that are interested in picking up, on more of the nuances of note reading, ear training, things like that, all of our campuses have free 45-minute group sessions weekly called music theory classes where, we focus on this specifically since we understand and recognize that a lot of the times the kids might come home with questions and the parents aren't necessarily going to know how to guide them. Right? Yeah. So we have this as a resource as well as composition and songwriting classes that are free too weekly for students that want to dabble more, in that side of things specifically.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. And summer is just about here. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Would you say the time is right? Are y'all doing anything like a summer camp? But just to put your kids in a program like this would be a good thing, right?
Yeah, we do have a lot of summer stuff going on. So, of course, our normal private lessons for music run throughout the summer, as well as group classes for dance and drama.
Yeah.
Then we also have camps, and our summer camps are really popular each year just because it's kind of a crash course to test the waters with many different, instruments or programs, right? So our summer camps are each week of July. It's the latter three, and then the first week of August this year, Monday through Friday. And it looks like a 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. setup. The students pick 6 programs. So if I'm naming, a random fictitious 6 that I picked, I could do, piano, tumbling, musical theater, voice, straight play acting, and guitar. And look at all of those programs, kind of filter between them in 45-minute sessions. The students get a little bit of everything, and then at the end of the week, there is an hour-long performance that they put on for their parents as well, from 2 to 3 that Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a really like a mini Camp Rock type of a feel where they get, to try it all out and then get on stage for the first time.
Well, that is very, very cool. Okay, so Frank, you going to sign up for that this summer? Are you going to do any of that?
Well, I may not. It may be too late for me, but I do have 14 grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very interested. In fact, I'm an musical instrument collector. I have about 10 musical instruments I've bought over the years just to have them around because I like testing different musical instruments. So, but now that I'm getting up in age, I'm now going to the grandkids.
No, Frank, you're not getting up in age.
A little bit. I'm 50, golly.
Frank, do you have a sitar? Is that part of your collection?
I have played a sitar.
Oh, okay.
It's an interesting musical instrument.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about going to my grandkids and asking them which of the instruments I have, which I have multiple guitars, trombone, trumpet, flute. It just goes on and on. And asking them which one they want to take home and encourage them to play music. Because, there's nothing better than when a child learns piano or some musical instrument. I took clarinet that was my first instrument, and I learned to read music, which is importante. You got to learn to read music, and I did that all through grammar school and junior high and into high school. And I got married early, so I had to give up my music career. But I started about 4 years ago back to the guitar and having a band, and it's been very much fun. We have a band. You know the name of the band?
You? A band? Oh, I've never heard this before. Yeah, but I didn't know you had a band. What's your band, Frank?
It's called The Silver Lining.
There it is.
Bingo!
There it is.
And it has to do with the color of our hair. All the we have a female vocalist. A couple. My daughter sang with us for a while. Katie Long now sings with us. She's a vocalist, and I do a little bit. And then we also have an amassing of good musicians, and that's the key to a good band: is surround yourself with successful, good musicians. and the rest will happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, certainly. And there's no shortage, I found, for working in this industry on the North Shore and Greater New Orleans area. We get
That's
a ton
right.
of resumes from people who have, outstanding backgrounds. So it's
Yeah.
nice to be, surrounded by artists.
And
It
speaking of outstanding background, Bethany, I don't know if you know this about Frank. He's from the lower Ninth Ward.
I am.
And so musically inclined, just by
Musically,
birth.
just by birth.
And ever since Frank was 10 years old, he always wanted to play guitar so badly. And now that he's, in his upper
70s.
upper 70s, he has achieved just that. He plays guitar so badly.
That's something that's really, I'd say, universal about music is that you can pick it up at any time. I, too, am playing guitar very badly right now since I am principally a vocalist, but we get free lessons, actually, for working, at the school full-time. It's a nice perk. So
Nice.
I've dabbled in piano throughout the years as well, and recently in January I started guitar.
We'll do it now.
Can you
Because-
Can you sing a little something for us now? No. Oh,
Because
Frank, that's not what you
arthritis kicks in the 70s. Makes guitar very difficult.
I could see that because I'm having a hard time right now just with building calluses at 28. So
Well, I must say, Bethany, listening to you, a wealth of information for LAAPA. I really appreciate it. You know your stuff. And I want to reach out to Ryan that he's got the right people in charge.
well, thank you.
Now, Bethany, can you stick around and hang out with us? Because at some point, I want to get you to sing on the show.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, we have nothing going on until early afternoon today, so we are free.
Okay, great. So we'll talk a little bit more about LAAPA and then the big event coming up on Saturday, right, Frank? I mean,
That's right.
well, you kind of sprung this on me. It's spring, but things, get sprung
Yeah,
on you.
I got a feeling this is going to be one of the events, the best events that we've had at Giddy Up. I'm a community-minded guy. I like bringing people together, community people. I hope all the parents and grandparents of these musicians will be coming out on Saturday as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you combine it with the fact that we're having a farmer's market on Saturday, we're going to have a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah. Always a great
Been
time
big.
when you're out on the weekends at Giddy Up in Folsom, Louisiana. So have you ever been, Bethany? You ever been to Giddy Up in Folsom?
I have not. I know
Frank, you hear
Ryan.
that?
Well, this is your chance.
Ryan shared very good things. I am excited to check it out. I know he has had such good experiences with Patrick performing there.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're lucky, Frank will draft you into Silver Linings. You'll be a part of the band. But we have to take a break first. Into the 8 o'clock hour we go. We're visiting with Bethany Lang from LAAPA, Louisiana Performing Arts. We're going to be talking that and more coming up next on TC in the AM.
Ooh.